Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Softly Spoken English, where English finally starts making sense. I'm Sophia, and I'm really glad to have you here today. Here's a sentence that looks almost right. I'll meet you in the bus stop. Something about that feels slightly off, doesn't it? It should be at the bus stop. And honestly, that tiny word swap trips up learners at every single level, even fairly advanced ones. Today we're tackling 3 of the smallest, sneakiest words in English: in, on, and at. They don't follow one clean rule, but there is a logic underneath, once you see it. And that's exactly what we're building today, place by place, moment by moment. Let's start with place, because that's where most of the confusion begins. At is for a specific point, a precise spot, almost like an X marking a location. I'm at the bus stop. I'll meet you at the entrance. Notice. At doesn't care about size, just precision, a single point in space. On is for a surface, something touching a flat area or resting along a line. The keys are on the table. There's a poster on the wall. My house is on Maple Street. Notice that last one, streets use on, because you're thinking of the street as a line, not an enclosed space. In is for something enclosed, inside a larger area or a defined space. The keys are in the drawer. She's in the kitchen. I live in London. Notice in suggests boundaries, walls, a container, a city with edges around it. Here's one more example of at, just to make the pattern stick. Turn left at the traffic lights. Notice, traffic lights are a precise point on a street, not a surface, not an enclosed space, just a single exact spot, which is exactly what at is built for. Let's practice this contrast. Think of something you own and describe where it usually sits, using on for a surface. A model answer: my phone is usually on the kitchen counter, right by the door. Now try the same object somewhere enclosed instead, using in, like a drawer or a bag. Here's a short conversation showing all 3 together. Person 1, where's my jacket? Person 2, I think it's on the chair or maybe in the closet. Person 1, found it. It was at the bottom of the stairs the whole time. Notice 3 different prepositions, 3 different kinds of location, all in one tiny exchange. Now let's move to something genuinely tricky: transport. We say in a car or in a taxi, but on a bus, on a train, and on a plane. It helps to learn these as familiar groups instead of forcing one rule to explain every vehicle. We travel in cars and taxis, on buses, trains and planes, and on bikes and motorcycles. Here's a small scene using the contrast. Friend 1, are you driving or taking the train? Friend 2, I'm on the train, actually. I hate being in the car during rush hour. In everyday conversation, these combinations eventually start to feel automatic. She rides to work on her bike every morning, rain or shine. Let's talk about time now, because it works on a surprisingly similar system. At, for a specific point in time, exact and precise. The meeting starts at 9. I'll call you at noon. Just like with place, at marks one exact moment, no wiggle room. Let's practice this one alone first. Think of something with a fixed, exact time today or tomorrow, an appointment, a call, anything scheduled. Try it with at. A model answer: I've got a dentist appointment at 3. I'm honestly already dreading it a little. On for days and dates, a specific unit on the calendar. I'll see you on Monday. Her birthday is on July 4th. Think of a calendar page, each day sitting there like a little surface, and on lands right on top of it. Let's practice this too. Think of something happening on a specific day this week or next. Try it with on. A model answer. I've got a call with a client on Thursday, and honestly, I still need to prepare for it. In for longer periods, months, years, seasons, or parts of the day. I was born in March. We moved here in 2019. I always feel more awake in the morning. Notice these are broader containers of time, not single points. Here's where it gets genuinely strange, though. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but at night. Why does night break the pattern? Honestly, there's no perfectly satisfying reason. English just decided night behaves differently, and native speakers absorbed it without ever questioning it. Let's practice this. Think of something you usually do at a specific time of day and describe it using the correct preposition. A model answer. I usually check my emails in the morning, but I try to relax at night, no screens. Notice how naturally in and at sit right next to each other there. Here's a short scene using time expressions. Colleague 1. When's the deadline? Colleague 2. Friday at 5. Though honestly, I'm hoping to finish in the morning, just to be safe. Colleague 1. Smart, I always leave things until the last minute at night and regret it. Here's one more. A restaurant booking combining day and time together. Person 1. Can I book a table for 2 on Saturday at 7? Person 2. Let me check. Yes, we have a table at 7 on Saturday. What name should I put it under? Notice how naturally on and at sit side by side there, day and time, working together without any confusion at all. Now here's a regional difference worth knowing. At the weekend is common in British English. On the weekend is more typical in American English. Neither is wrong, they're just two different systems, sitting side by side, depending on which variety of English you're speaking. Let's talk about a few fixed expressions too, because these don't always follow the logic we just built. They're simply memorized as whole chunks. At home, at work, at school. Notice, these use at, even though home, work, and school are technically enclosed spaces, they just became fixed exceptions over time. Let's practice this. Try describing where you are right now, or where you usually are at this time of day, using one of these fixed phrases. A model answer. I'm usually at work by this time, though today I happen to be at home instead. Here's another set. In the picture, in a photo, but on the page, on the screen. A photo feels like a contained little world you're inside of, while a page or screen is treated as a flat surface something sits on top of. You look great in that photo. The answer is on page 12. Here's a short scene using this pair. Friend 1. Who's that in the photo with you? Friend 2. That's my sister. It was taken at my graduation, and it's actually my desktop background now. Notice we say someone is in a photo, but the photo can appear on a screen. Two different ideas side by side. Let's try a spot the mistake round now. Ready? I'll see you in the bus stop. Did you catch it? Bus stop is a specific point, so it needs at, not in. It should be, I'll see you at the bus stop. Here's another one. She was born on 1995. Years take in, not on, so it should be, she was born in 1995. Remember, On is reserved for specific days and dates, not full years. One more, a little trickier. The photo is at the wall. That mixes two different logics together. A wall takes on since it's a surface, so it should be the photo is on the wall, not at. Let's try two more. I'll meet you on the entrance. That should be at the entrance, since an entrance is a precise point, not a flat surface. And my birthday is in July 4th. Dates take on, not in, so it should be my birthday is on July 4th. In, only for the whole month alone. Let's try a quick round now, out loud. I'll describe a situation and you choose in, on, or at. Situation 1. You're describing a small town where you grew up. That's in, a whole area. Situation 2. You left your umbrella by the entrance. You could say, it's at the entrance, because that's a precise location. Situation 3. You're mentioning what day your flight leaves. That's on, a specific day on the calendar. Situation 4. You're describing what month you usually take your holiday. That's in, a broader stretch of time. Situation 5. You're telling a friend the exact time you'll call them tonight. That's at, one precise moment. Situation 6. You're describing which country you were born in. That's in, a large enclosed space again. Situation 7. You're mentioning that the keys are sitting right on top of the fridge. That's on, a clear, flat surface. Here's one more scene, checking into a hotel. Guest. Hi, I have a reservation for the 4th under Silva. Receptionist. Let me check. Yes, here it is. You're in room 302, and breakfast starts at 7 in the dining room. Notice how naturally the prepositions work in that short exchange, with a date, a room, and an exact time. Nobody needs to stop and analyze each choice. Let's zoom out for a moment, because place prepositions can also work like levels on a map, from big to small. In for the biggest containers, countries, cities, in Brazil, in São Paulo. On for streets, the next size down, on Paulista Avenue. And at for the smallest, most precise point, the exact address. At 1578 Paulista Avenue. Think of it almost like zooming in on a map. You start wide, in Brazil, then narrower, on this street. Then finally, the pin drops exactly, at this address. That mental image alone solves a huge number of these preposition choices instantly. A model answer. I live in Porto, on a quiet street just outside the center, at the corner near the old bakery. Let's put a few of today's prepositions together now, the way you might actually use them in one real story. I woke up at 7, checked my phone in bed, then headed to work on the train. I got to the office at 9 and spent the morning in meetings. By the evening, I was exhausted, sitting on the sofa, scrolling through photos on my phone. My friend's wedding photo was in my feed, taken at the church, right on the front steps. Notice how naturally all three prepositions weave through one ordinary day, nobody consciously choosing which one to use. Here's one more scene, giving someone directions. Person 1, excuse me, is the pharmacy near here? Person 2, yes, it's on Main Street just past the bank. There's a bus stop right at the corner, and the pharmacy's in the building right behind it. Person 1, perfect, thank you so much. That's such a genuinely useful little exchange, isn't it? 3 prepositions doing real, practical work, helping someone actually find a place in an unfamiliar city. Let's do a short recap. At for a specific point, in place or time, precise and exact. One more useful pattern before our recap is events. We say at the party, at the concert, and at the wedding. English treats the event as a point of reference, even when it happens inside a much larger building. For example, I saw her at the wedding last month, but we barely had time to talk. The building might be a church or a hall, but when you're referring to the event itself, at is the natural choice. Use at for a specific point in place or time, precise and exact. Use on for a surface, a street, or a particular day and date. Use in for an enclosed space, a larger area, or a longer period such as a month, year, season, or part of the day. And then we have at night, because apparently English likes to keep at least one exception ready for us. If all of that feels like a lot, remember the simplest image from today, a point, a surface, or a container. That mental picture won't solve every exception, but it will guide you towards the natural choice surprisingly often. With transport and fixed expressions, learn the combinations as complete chunks, such as in a car, on a bus, at home, and at work. Little by little, they will begin to sound automatic. Here's your challenge for this week. Next time you're describing where something is or when something happens, pause for just a second and picture the logic. Are you talking about a precise point, a surface, or something inside a larger space or period? It may feel slow at first, but this tiny pause is how the correct combinations start becoming familiar. Soon, you won't need to think about the rule at all. Speaking of next time, our next episode is all about small talk at work, the light, easy conversations that happen by the coffee machine before a meeting officially starts, or during a quick elevator ride. We'll look at simple, natural ways to begin these conversations and keep them moving without sounding forced. It's a skill of its own, and honestly, a genuinely useful one. See you in the next episode.